half, I think you guys were just taking the lead. You went up 3, and there were a couple of turnovers back to back. And it seemed like in the first half, especially, turnovers were a pretty big issue. Was there a common denominator with the turnovers in terms of what brought that about?
You got to be able to take care of the ball, especially against good teams like Maryland. We ended up out rebounding them, but we ended up having 6 more turnovers in them. So I guess the possession game was even per se. So you got to be able to take care of the ball at crucial times.
John, the free throws is obviously a big disparity there, and you guys knew that was a strength for them. Was it something that they do especially well as far as getting the line, or where do you think you guys were held back defensively today that allowed that to happen?
We were just caught out of position at times, and that's what led them into the free throw line. There's nothing that they really did other than the fact that we were caught out of position. We drove to the basket and they got fouled, and they made the free throws, 27 to 31. I think it was.
How big was it for them to get your 2 big guys out of the game with fouls? Randy,
What was the question?
How much of a key of the game was them getting your 2 bigs out of the game with the 4 fouls?
I think more than anything, our bigs got themselves out of the game. Going against principles and things like that. Those offensive fouls, I think AJ had 2, Isaac might have had 2, so just silly things like that. It really did to themselves. So just got to be more disciplined when it comes down to it, and be more focused and things like that.
Kendall, they seemed to stick to you pretty well, especially when you were behind the 3-point line. Was the defensive pressure what sort of threw you off today from where you're typically good beyond they are?
Yeah, they're pretty good, defensive team, but just shots that would normally go just wouldn't. So it was a tough shooting night, as well as I think I just personally turned the ball over too much, I think as well as the team did. So it was just a lot of mental errors that really got us beat.
John, can you get your opinion of Maryland's defense? And Coach Maynard talked about just how physical they were and how tough they were going to be defensively. What were your impressions of what they did well defensively?
I think they did a good job. They pressured the ball. They got us to turn it over 16 times. That right there is the game. We lost by 9 points. That's 6 possessions. Make a couple free throws. We would have been right there. So I think they did a good job defensively, honest.
Anything else? I just, a couple of them were in transition. We tried to advance the ball, and I thought they did a good job of, streaking and just playing. But just basic stuff, passing and catching. You have to be able to, give yourself a chance. And we just didn't give ourselves a chance. I thought we were really fortunate, to be tied at halftime. But I thought our effort on the glass was great, and that's what kept us in it.
Matt, you were able to get within 3 and within 4 in the second half, but never really kind of get that big stop.
Right.
Were they doing something that was tough? They seemed to be able to get to the rim.
They're a good defensive team. They're a physical, aggressive team. They have good athleticism. They have some quickness. They have good size. We just didn't do a good job of executing. I thought our young guys, when we came in there and went small, they did a great job. They moved the basketball. They set good screens. But, we could stop them because we could switch a lot of things, but then we couldn't get a rebound with that group, and that really hurt us. And it really hurt us because our 2 big guys, had some fouls that were just, not position fouls. When you're protecting the rim or you're in ball screen defense, it's hard for a guy's size. It really is. But when you're out there reaching or trying to lunge through the passing lanes, and then you get those type of fouls, that really hurts you. Mm-hmm. So we had to play a smaller lineup, which offensively didn't hurt us much, but it really hurt us on the glass.
So you were fortunate to be tied at halftime, but a couple minutes before halftime, you'd taken a 3-point lead, and then right after that, there were a couple of turnovers. That
no doubt.
Did they not handle momentum well, so to speak?
I just thought since we had 9, not talking about how it unfolded, but just when you have 9 turnovers, which one of the top 10 teams in the country at half, and you think how many are you down? But we had a chance at that time to be in a better position, obviously, but we didn't. But you know, you could go back and dissect it. It wasn't one thing, it wasn't one guy. We just didn't do a good job with that. But you know, give Maryland credit. You know, I thought in terms of trying to screen them, our guys didn't do a good job of adjusting and changing our angles at times, and they were able to shoot the gap and get in those passing lanes.
Coach, it didn't look like either team was really able to get to much of a rhythm throughout the game. What can you attribute that to? And was this just sort of one of those classic Big Ten battles where that just doesn't happen?
Yeah, I just, you know, didn't get into a rhythm. You know, I thought we missed some shots that we normally make, especially from the perimeter. I thought they missed some shots that they normally make. They had some guys have some good looks, and it didn't go down for them. And I thought they did a better job of really grinding it out. And they did a better job on the glass. Second half, we were even on the glass second half. Then they only turned it over 10 times. And then they made their free throws. You know, the 127 to 31, I think probably 6 to 8 of them were, you know, intentional. Obviously, at the end of the game, when you're trying to get back in and you're fighting, but you know, they were able to score some points. We got to do a better job on defense of just being in position and you know, being there on the catch and not allowing angles, not allowing guys to get the ball, whether that's in the post or you know, whether that's in their sweet spot on the perimeter.
You sort of started to answer the question I was about to ask, but just about keeping them off the line. I mean, you hold Trimble to 107 field goals, but
right.
he still gets there 8 times. And
right.
Was that just, can you see each individual spot as being maybe not there enough defensively today to keep?
You know, it's, you know, when you try to generalize, and there's a lot of individual things that happen, it's difficult because, you know, we just got behind plays too much, whether that was our ball screen defense or handling screens away from the basketball, or I thought early transition defense gave us a little bit of trouble. You know, I thought they really attacked our big guys when we didn't get the ball stopped. We had to do a better job of getting it stopped, and then we had to do a better job of getting turned around and protecting the paint, and they did a good job of exposing us early in the game. We did a better job as the game went on. So there's a lot of different things where you really work just to stay ahead of your problems. We just, you know, we got behind too many plays. When you get behind too many plays, you normally end up fouling.